Warning, the following may contain were-tigers. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. Disaster! After Kellin's panicked assault upon one of the Vistani, Irina and Ismark have agreed to flee the village straight away. But first, the deceased burgomaster must be put to rest.
This will be a really quick burial.
Yes.
Is there a hole?
No.
Have we
What
dug
about-
a hole?
Oh, there's a couple of holes, pre-existing holes that I guess you could have a go at.
There's a
Just-
door where Doru was locked, and we can just roll the body down there.
Oh my god! You are still you're in timeout, sir. You don't get to make suggestions about desecrating bodies.
You're, as Master Son said, you're on the naughty step. You better watch it.
You definitely get the impression that both Irina and Ismark are really worried about the hornet's nest that you guys have kicked up right now. So they are more than
I think
happy.
we all are.
They are more than
We
happy
all
to
are.
have a go at. They keep talking about the curse of the Vistani. It's a really big deal. Really big deal to them to not have to deal with this. So they're more than happy to have a go at one of the old burial, one of the old graves, basically that are pre-existing. And
I think like those of us who are good at magic should go like create a sort of intimidating distraction, while the barbarian who made this mess and our wonderful priest, see the body interred. So, what do you say?
Good enough.
Okay. Do you have any fireballs in you? Talfrin? Or
I do.
Talfrin? The
Always.
only one of us who casts fireballs. You have any? Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. And I'm
Every
going to do
direction.
a minor illusion of a sort of a twisting flame. Can I do that? Is that something I can do?
yeah.
Okay. So
5 foot cube is the rule.
yeah. Oh, for me? Okay, so a burning bush near the graveyard where they're doing their ceremony. I will set it on fire with my mind.
Okay.
Maybe like away from us.
Okay, we'll do it across the street in the park.
So Master Summer puts her hand on. Oh, sorry, not Master Summer. Irina puts her hand on Master Summer's shoulder, and she says, "Will you say some nice words for me? He was a kind man."
Okay.
I'll gently lift the body and set it into the grave, and then start kicking dirt on it.
don't do that, please. So I'm unsure how to pray or how you pray here. We just remain standing and bow our heads and clasp our hands together. So
Yes.
join me in a prayer to the morning Lord.
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
Hear, O morning Lord, the outcries of those mourning. Pay attention to their prayers. From the ends of all the earth, we know all creation cries out to you when their hearts give out in despair. But catch our tears in your wallet of light, O Lord, for all mankind does come to you in the end, and we all fear the dark. Show us favor as we keep track of our wandering. Amen.
Amen.
And she, Ismark sheds a tear, and Irina takes your hand and clasps it between both of hers, and she says, "Thank you. He would have appreciated that."
I fire off a solemn, commemorative fireball into the air.
Okay.
The night is dark and full of terrors.
I didn't have to
Oh,
say it.
shit.
and now shall we run?
That's right.
I think that would be a good
Hightail
idea. So Yes, I think that would be a good idea. There is the road that you took into the village, the eastern road. It runs west as well, and that is the main way out of Barovia. Now, I do not think we should find the road straight in the center of the village, but perhaps if we skirt around the outside of it, that should take us well on our way.
I'm a man of the alley.
That sounds like an excellent plan. I'll defer to everyone else from now on for plans.
You accomplished our goal. I mean,
It's true. It's true.
Unfortunately, Irina and I are not able to make it home to gather supplies, but from what I can tell, you might have enough on your persons to get us by until we get to Vallaki.
yes.
Well, we could just like swing by for the gold. Surely we have enough time just to kind of like
I don't think we should go back.
the family like jewels or anything. Do we not think we should go back to the silver?
Do you want to go there and then meet us at Palaki?
Yeah.
I can make myself scarce. No, all right, we'll run. We'll come back though.
Yes. You've not seen The Last of Us. Much that I just...
Okay.
And can we keep an eye out for that? Was it Jenny Greenteeth?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Jenny Green.
Yeah. So see,
She has
I think
magic trinkets.
Strahd is only now starting to appreciate the terror that has been unleashed upon his land.
So you kind of skirt around you skirt to the west a wee bit, just in the trees that are growing around the village of Barovia, until until Ismark eventually motions to head south, and you re-find that road that you had travelled upon all that while ago when you first came to Barovia, and you can see that the village is just off to the east. So it's Ismark nods to the west. In fact, the road started to take a turn just down to the southwest, actually, and he says, "This way is it will lead to the rest of the valley, and eventually will take us to Vallaki."
Just a thought. I bet you the Blood of the Vine Tavern is empty right now.
You have burned that bridge, sir. You've burned it.
We're not going
Actually,
back.
now that we're enjoying a leisurely afternoon constitutional, this is a good opportunity to share with you all what I discovered while I was engaged in an intimate tete-a-tete with one of those Vistani ladies. Did you know
the ones that like throw curses?
Yes. It was a harrowingly exciting experience.
Are you cursed? Are you cursed now yourself?
Well, many might say that. My life, when I look back upon
Your
the
looks.
years, so anyway, I did engage her in a little flirtatious repartee, and she revealed that Strahd had his heart broken generations ago, literally, before the Vistani's grandmother's time, by a Tatiana, who was a peasant girl that shattered his poor heart.
Tatiana.
I looked at Ismark and Irina. Like, does that name ring a bell, Tatiana?
And they look at each other, and they say, "No, I've not heard of this before, Irina." And she shakes her head as well in the negative. This is news to them.
Well,
I do not believe that he could have any of those kind of emotions in his heart for anyone.
Not anymore, at least. Not after Tatiana was done with him. But there may be a chink in his armor that we could explore. For example, if we could find a way to dress up Jean as Tatiana.
I'm down.
Yes.
I'm in for it. Yes. I've been practicing this role all my life.
I'm noticing that our team is starting to specialize in certain tactics.
Right.
And I think we should play to our strengths.
Well, so what does Tatiana look like? Because I can't just like dress up like just someone. It has to look like her.
She didn't know. We're gonna have to be on the lookout for portraits or something along those lines.
She was a peasant. All we know is that she was a peasant girl, Barovian peasant.
Yeah, a peasant. So maybe you could wear like a peasant blouse.
We need more to go on. I can't prepare for a role just a peasant girl.
I thought you were a talented man of the boards.
I need better direction. It's not about talent. You need a good director.
Well, we'll have to ask Strahd.
Yes.
Beyond that,
did she look like this?
Apparently, there's no magical items floating around. This area seems to have a dearth of useful magical swords. But there is a lady who visits Madame Eva's camp a couple of hours away who sells magic trinkets.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so that was a potentially promising lead.
What was her name?
I didn't catch her name. Just
Jenny Greenteeth.
Jenny Green.
And Jenny, I asked about the dream pastries.
Oh, yes. Are they tasty? Is it like anise flavored or more like an almond sort of?
More like ruinously addictive.
I do like that. I do enjoy that flavor.
Well, if we ever tire each other's company. And yes, that was about the long. She did reveal her propensity for curses, which is when I drew our little engagement.
Well, I just want to say, now that when the cards come down on the table, I do not know you, sir. I will turn invisible and I will run away because you brought that curse on yourself. You two, we went to a store and we bought useful things for our little troop here. You two went into a tavern and got us run out of town by a mob.
Listen, by my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family, and in this case, I may have done it once more, but I circumvented it by making her believe that I am truly Engelbert Thespesian III, a man of less than charming appearance.
How did you do this, sir?
I used, let's say, illusory magic to disguise myself as a dramatically less attractive exemplar of my gender.
Okay, but if she sees you again now as you were when you first appeared, will she not just assume you are Engelbert in your disguise?
No, I don't think so at all, because I'm willing to bet. She will wager that any man of ill appearance will assume such a handsome appearance as this as sort of a go-to avatar, as you will. So who's to say which heinously disfigured young man has chosen to sort of dress himself up in this form?
Yes, when I think standards of beauty, I think of you, Lord Toff, that's certainly true.
So that's why I always make sure to lock my bedroom door.
Okay.
So would anyone say, to hear the song, the monkey steals the master's hat? I feel no. Oh, okay, all right. Well.
So guys, you travel southwest along the road.
Can we take a rest?
Oh, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, you certainly could do. I mean, you've
never. Did we never heal him?
I'm not healed, and I need my.
He doesn't deserve.
I need my anger back, and you guys might need your spells back. I'm thinking.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
This is the. I mean, you've traveled for maybe like half an hour away from the village.
5 minutes.
There's a river sort of flowing through the valley.
Water.
The valley here. Ooh. There's a wee sort of stone bridge that you're just crossing over here at the moment. Certainly could be a good place to stop for. Now, are you talking about a short rest?
What is the shortest long rest we could take?
6 hours.
Ugh, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, and certainly when you're discussing it, Ismark will say we're too close to the village to risk doing that. I do not know how badly you have angered the Vistani, but they,
very badly.
They could very well be heading after us at this moment. Rest for half an hour to an hour, I think, would be acceptable, but any more than that, I think, would be risking discovery.
Does my Song of Rest do us any good at this point?
I can't recall.
Oh, me neither.
How many hit dice do we get back during a short rest?
You are third level now, so no, yes, you're third level, so you can roll 3 hit die.
Yeah.
Max before you take a long rest. So, just checking.
And do we get our Constitution bonuses to those hit dice?
No. just checking.
So, Josiah, you can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creatures who hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending one or more hit dice. Each of these creatures regains an extra 1d6.
There we go.
So I think I can do that, but that would be my last spell. Is that right?
No, it does not a spell for you. It's just an extra bonus that you give to everyone because you're here. So that doesn't mean you get an extra d6 per die that you spend. It basically means that you get an extra d6 on top of whatever else you spend for everyone. So if Kellin basically rolls his hits, you can roll your one hit die and an extra d6 if you want.
Sure, I'll do that. So I pull out my concertina and I say, I know that no one asked for it, but I'm going to play a song, and I think it might help us all feel a little better. And then I do.
What Talford just weeps in the corner.
Okay, so is Kellin spending some hit dice?
Yes, he is.
Okay. How's he doing?
He feels a little better.
Okay. Guys, while this is happening, you all, you're sort of relaxing the bridge, looking at the running water. I mean, this is as close as you've come so far in Barovia to a peaceful scene. All of you notice, after a while, something very high in the sky above you. I think Lord Talfrin would notice it first. But eventually all of you realize that there is a bird up there very high, and it's circling around, but you which by itself doesn't seem odd. I mean, there are other birds flying about, but this one never really seems to leave the area, and you're starting to get the distinct impression that it's paying attention to you. Eventually, you do realize once it comes low enough, it is a magpie up there.
What's the range?
I mean,
I'm sensing a fireball coming.
Yeah.
We're talking pretty high up, 80 feet at least, but it varies.
80 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. I incinerate.
Okay. So you
my range is 120 feet.
Okay.
Oh.
I hurl a mote of fire up to 120 feet away. I doubt a magpie can take up to a D10 fire damage.
Okay. What's your? Do you want to roll an attack roll for your fireball?
I think I roll at a +5. So I once I noticed this ominous-looking scavenger bird tailing us when we're trying to flee, I pull back my cuffs and seeking not to interrupt Jean's song, I just, toss a fireball straight up.
Okay.
And a 12 + 5 is a 17.
17. So the fireball hits the bird. What could you do a damage roll for me, please?
Yes, sir.
This doesn't sound like a good idea either.
9.
9. So 9 damage. So the fireball impacts on the bird. Now, you've sent up a pretty clear flare, in the immediate area. The bird gives a cry of pain. You're absolutely right. A magpie you would expect that would incinerate it. However, the bird instead, wheels away. You can see that it's still in control. The flames, lessen, but the bird flies away to the west.
Can I get up one final shot at it without it's within range?
Yeah, go for it.
Ah.
But it flies west, not east.
18
Yeah, that's
5 is 23.
Okay, do you want to roll damage for that as well?
And a 5.
A 5. So again, same again, and it looks like the bird begins to plummet after you hit it this time, but then flaps its wings, the flames go out, and it continues off to the west.
So you're not a lover of songbirds, I take it. I feel that's what we've learned here. Why are you trying to blast that poor bird out of the sky?
Are magpies known as songbirds? I thought they were simply known for their avarice.
Well, I mean, they can make noise.
As can you. I wouldn't call you a thong.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, I do a circuit of the group with my hand up for a high five.
Well, this magpie is not going to come to your rescue, sir, again.
I wouldn't expect it.
Okay.
No, but I am not a fan of magpies, especially ones that are ominously circling overhead when we are seeking to flee beings that can cast curses and so forth.
Could be under the control of Madame Eva.
Right, precisely. Something that would tail us forever, that no matter how far or how desperately we ran, we would always be tracked by its beady eyes, drawing the forces of evil ever closer to surround us in a net until we were caught and then forced to, I don't know, what is it that the Stani do with their prey? Listen to their gypsy jigs or something.
So do we have to like suspect every animal we come upon from here on out? Like if we meet a squirrel, do we have to blow it up as well? I mean, where does this end?
If it tracked us, if it acts in a manner unnatural to its kind.
Right. So so first we break into women's rooms, we steal their clothing, we try to kill them, and now we are. I don't know about we.
I don't know if we should. We all did that one. That one.
We're all running because of it. I'm just saying, like, as a man of loose morals, you're suddenly developing these. Well, you're just finding a new bottom. Like we're killing songbirds and we're like robbing women in their rooms. It just doesn't seem right.
Welcome to Barovia, Jean Mallarmé.
Oh.
This land breaks us all down, but we're here to survive.
I guess
it is true.
Okay.
Anyway, you were playing a not so bad song, if you'd resume.
Oh. All right, so this is called The Monkey Steals the Master's Hat.
No.
Oh.
No. I object to this song dramatically. Even though I do not wear a
him
hat.
in the face.
It's the only song I know.
Okay. And Ismark eventually, after a while, says, I think if you are well rested, we should continue. I do not know if there will be pursuit today or not.
So I'm at full health. Is everyone else like?
Yep.
I'm close enough.
Okay, cool. Let's
all right.
Carry on.
I use a prestidigitation to clean everybody up, so everybody's clothing is now immaculate and clean pressed. All stains and sweat and malodorous odors are gone.
The Stanny blood gone from
blood is gone. Hair is clean and combed. Teeth is everything is great.
Okay, you can tell that Ismark is particularly freaked out by the sensation of being cleaned by invisible hands. But he gets over it. So that we'll continue, guys, for a few more hours travel now. We're getting into evening. The sun is getting a wee bit lower now. By the time we reach a fork in the road. So, guys, there's an old wooden gallows here, creaking in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from the beam here, and the road splits. And there's a signpost opposite the gallows, and it points off in 3 directions. To the east, where you came from, it mentions that's where Barovia village is. Zerpool is to the northwest, and Ravenloft and Vallaki are both to the southwest. So the northwest road, the one to the Zerpool, it slants down and it disappears down into the trees, whereas the southwest road, the one to Ravenloft and Vallaki, heads upwards. Across from the gallows, there's a low wall crumbling in places, and it partially encloses a small plot of graves, shrouded in the fog that always seems to coat these lands.
What time of day is it?
Early evening. You've been travelling for a good few hours now.
I noticed that we only like come upon like graveyards and abysmal towns. Like, are there no amusements in this place? No happy places.
Irina looks at you and she says, "What would you expect to find?"
Fair.
Hear me go round?
The Blood of the Vine Tavern used to be a happy place.
Yes, well, you solved that.
I sit on the low wall and I remove my boots and shake some rocks out. And I say, so, do we go to visit Madame Eva and explain all the misunderstandings that have taken place so far between us and the Vistani, or continue on to Vallaki? No, on to Vallaki then.
No. Wait. I feel like we should at least have a conversation. Like, if we're going to encounter these beasts again, we almost were all murdered when we caught one by surprise and had it where we wanted it, trapped in a corner. So,
are you talking about the Vistani?
Who has the magic trinkets?
Jenny Greenteeth.
That's the person I want to meet. I want to meet Jenny Greenteeth.
You do want to go to the Vistani?
Is that where she is?
Oh, something else that the Vistani told me.
Yes.
Interesting. They can foretell the future. They believe everything is predestined, and that through their sorcerous arts, they can part the mists of time and see what is to come.
And
then they will know I had no choice but to put that axe in that woman.
When you say this, Irina steps forward and she says, "Yes, this is true. Madame Eva is particularly well known for doing this. Father would often reach out to her to advise him on particularly important matters. But Ismark seems considerably less impressed, and he says it's ridiculous. He should never have had anything to do with any of the servants of the devil."
Yes, she did make it quite clear that they do serve their dark master, and their loyalty is absolute to.
Does he pay well? I mean, do we know anything else about this dark master?
Irina says,
I didn't inquire about the benefits.
Father did not believe that they were truly evil. He did try to explain. Imagine you are caught in this position, and what choice do they have? They can serve this evil being, or what? Live like us? Ismark. Just his face contorts in anger, and he says, "It's not good enough. That's not a good enough reason to side. Nobody should side with something like Strahd. I think Father was a fool. Father was a fool for having anything to do with the Vistani."
He does sound like a fool.
Well, I mean, if you go hungry long enough, eventually you might think, why not the Dark Lord? I understand. It makes sense. I'm sorry, Master Sona, what were you saying? You go on.
It's just so the Vistani are people who obviously have some sort of magic which can be used effectively against vampires. We don't know if it can be used against Strahd, but it seems strange that they would then side with him. So are they not in rebellion? It must be that if they have the magic and the tools to use against vampires, then they must be in very high demand. I don't understand why they're not an integral part of this society and culture.
Well, because they've been so they've been cast out. They've been otherized. They've been dismissed as maybe they just feel like outsiders.
Shall we take a vote? Democracy, after all, is the highest form of self-governance.
So Irina steps forward and she says, I would like to see Madame Eva. I've heard a lot about her, and I know Father would believe that she would have good advice in a situation like this. And Ismark counters with, "It's ridiculous. Not at all. You're basically saying you want to tell the Vistani that we have left Barovia and are running away? That's madness."
What are the odds that they're going to hear about what happened in the bedroom?
Good. They're good.
Me getting that special book and that nice shawl,
which you gave both to me. You're trying to pin this on me, sir, aren't you?
That's right.
I see through you.
All right, we have 1 for, 1 against. Master Sona?
I'm very unsure about these women who are calling themselves Vistani. We didn't really get a very welcome first time meeting with. I'm not sure Lord Tarfon can pull that wooing off again.
Oh, I probably could.
No.
Let's hope
I probably
so.
could.
No, sir.
That reservoir is deep.
I do
The
believe
bucket
be
is
plumbed.
small. The bucket is small.
we do need
It's all relative.
weapons. We do need, mechanisms of defense. So I do not wish it, but I do think we should go to these people.
All right, that's 1-4. Master
Yes.
Kellin.
I agree wholeheartedly with everything Master Sona said.
That's 3 and 1 against. So either we go for a tie or we go to see the Vistani. John?
I agree with Master Sona.
All right, then my vote is irrelevant. I pull on my boot, I stand up and dust off my coat, and say, to the Vistani camp.
You cannot be serious. This is madness. You're walking straight into the camp of our enemy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
I'm gonna go through their drawers and
You're talking
We're
to the
learning
people who
so
went
You
much
to
are
about
the
this
the
stuff.
outside the camp. You are in the timeout, sir.
You're on the naughty stuff.
Okay, so
Think of it this way. They would never expect us to do this because it makes no sense.
it would be absolute idiocy if I tried that again. So no, they'd never expect it.
Well,
They're gonna
but
leave all our
perhaps we should disguise him, and you as well. I mean, Master Son and me, like we are like relatively strangers to them. You have been distinguishing yourself.
You want me to?
I can disguise myself easily.
Okay. Well, what about him? Can we?
I could put some rose water on me.
This could take more than. Well, the shawl could help.
Give him a concertina to hold. They might think he's the famed Jean Mallarmé.
I'd
There's
make
more. There's more to
art.
it.
I don't know if there is.
In my land, we know many tales of woe.
With monkeys and hats. Just tell them. Slip in the monkey for the Dread Lord and you're set.
It's a polemic. There's a political element to the song. You wouldn't understand.
Dread Lord steals the master's head.
All you have to do is put the concertina to your lips and blow through it and you're set. Everyone will
That
think
is
you're
not
Jean
how. That is
Mallarmé.
not how it
Isn't that
works.
concertina one of those little?
What are we talking about? Oh my!
It's like those alpine horns.
Anyone remember those infomercials for Zamfir?
Okay, so you're saying that I'm the loathsome character. I was good. I have procured flasks of oil for the troop.
I love the way you say I was good.
I pat John comfortingly on the shoulder. Says, "We all must come upon a time of self-realization." Some
He
of us
thinks
later
the
in life
bard
than others.
doth protest too much.
Oh God!
Yes.
All right. So let us decamp and go face our fate.
okay, all right, guys.
It's
So
already apparently predetermined for us.
so we you travel down the road, and Ismark mutters constantly under his breath as you do so, and you travel on down it, walking for about half an hour. The sort of gravel road eventually disappears. Eventually it's replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees, and you can see deep ruts in the earth, showing clear evidence of the coming and going of wagons. Suddenly, the sort of canopy of mist and the branches gives way to black clouds far above you guys. But here there's a clearing right beside the river. So the river here is a lot wider than it was when you crossed it a while back. And it's almost like a small, well, it is forming a small lake several hundred feet across. Now, before you, there are 5 colourful round tents, about 10 foot in diameter, pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. Now, there's a much larger tent standing by the shore of the lake, and it's you can see that there's lights inside it, sort of lighting up through the tarpaulin over it, and there's some horses, about 8 horses, drinking from the water close to the much larger tent. Now the mournful strains of an accordion are playing here, guys. There's several brightly clad figures singing around the bonfire that the wagons are surrounding. And the footpath that you're on continues past this camp, and it continues all along the edge of the river, if you want to.
That looks like fun. I mean, do we not all agree? I think, if you're going to find a traveling theater troupe, that's where you look.
And you should be our spokesman. This is your element.
Well, I don't know if I should be the spokesman. I think that the first person in should be the most distinguished looking of the lot, and that would have to be you, Lord Tolford.
Well, I'm actually going to be disguising myself.
Oh. Master Suna.
I can walk ahead, yes. And probably best.
Yeah. You make a good impression. You don't rob people on sight.
Yes, I wasn't a blood-stained barbarian who, has been thieving, or, some wizard who apparently has a knob on his staff.
I know, the two of us are so moral.
I'm going to disguise myself as the master of House Dearth. That one I did before.
Yeah. Do you have, how many spells do you have left?
It's my last one.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay,
Of that
so
level. I have a
okay.
few cantrips left.
Okay, that's fine. What
fireballs.
What about everyone else? Are you happy enough?
I think that this might be no. Well, I mean, should I put on the shawl? Madame Rousseau, is this her time to shine? I feel it.
This is it.
This is it.
All right.
It's been a long time since Madame.
It has been a long time. So I take the shawl and I put it over my head and I unveil my crystal ball, which I feel is the centerpiece of the disguise, and I also hunch over so that I can walk at a stooped pace.
Madame Eva and Madame Rousseau are just going to get along famously, I think.
I feel it.
Okay.
Oh! And as a minor illusion, a big hairy mole right here, just on the upper lip.
Okay.
I feel that completes the whole effect.
It's good.
Continue.
I like it. Okay. Are you approaching the camp then, guys?
Following Madame Rousseau.
No. Master Suna leads. We have all seen what happens when we lead a charge. She's leading. I will follow as, support.
Okay. So as you approach, guys, there are 12 of these Vistani around the fire. Guys, they are having a pretty good time. You can tell that they're pretty much all, in some ways, inebriated. And they're just sitting there. There's lots of wine bottles on the go. They're just really being very loud, telling stories with each other. A couple of people singing along very badly to the accordion playing. And they see you, and the accordion stops, and they, they all have a wee look. They kind of take their assessment off you, and then they kind of shrug and go back to playing the accordion and having their drinks and telling stories to each other.
Let's take this as a good sign.
And the fellow on the accordion is quite good. I think that's you got to respect her for the musician.
Okay.
We do a dueling banjos between your concertina and his accordion.
I would not. Well, no, I am Madame Rousseau. I had to stay in character. Please do not distract me.
The devil went down to Barovia.
Several generations ago. Well, we move forward. We enter the circle of firelight, and I nod my head graciously to all those who make eye contact.
Okay. And sorry.
Go ahead.
No, what were you saying? No.
I was going to say, if anyone approaches at all, or they just don't mind us.
Yes, as soon as you come into the campfire, one of the men, sort of older round punched guy, but he looks like he's done pretty well for himself. He looks at you all and he says, "Come, friends, come join us. It is a good night to drink under the stars. Somebody get these strangers some wine. Let them share our campfire."
I like him.
I think we do exactly what he said.
Yes.
Sounds like he's forgiven me for everything I've done.
And as a show of gratitude, I could tell your fortune. I am a fortune teller. You would like to know what awaits you tomorrow.
So the women around the campfire. Oh, sorry. Take a deception check.
This is going to be great.
We're offering to tell the Vistanis their fortune. That's cheating.
22.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
So the women around the campfire give a small chuckle, but the men is sort of they look at each other and they go, "Oh," almost as if you're offering them something that that's often withheld from them, and they kind of go, "Oh, okay, let's have a couple of drinks, and then we'll see if you can tell me a better future than the one that my wife has promised me."
Marital strife.
So they share around sort of a bottle of wine each, guys. There's plenty of space around the fire. Like none of them are particularly, nobody like strikes up like major conversations with you, but they're happy for you to sort of sit there, and they react to you if you speak to them. Madame Rousseau, one of the men, after a few minutes, shuffles over to you, and he says, "So, can you tell me my future?"
I'm seeing something foggy, but
yes, yes, I am planning on spending a lot of time in Barovia. That's obviously what the fog is.
That's what happened. There's a person that you care deeply for.
Yes, that's right. My mother,
and they're suffering.
She's not feeling very well. That's right. She had too much.
Yes.
She's already gone to bed because she had too much to. You're very good at this.
Well, it's just the voices speak through me. I don't really feel that I am speaking myself.
I'm so humble too. Yes.
Yes. Well, and they tell me that she will make a full recovery.
Oh, thank goodness! She
will be okay.
I was kind of worried.
Yes. But, there is something else though. It says that you should always be kind to strangers. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, no, absolutely. That is the Vistani way. Look, you are strangers right here, and we are welcoming you to our campfire.
I thought we were already family.
I like this.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've made me very happy.
Absolutely.
I hope you take no insult, but when the Vistani tell the fortune, we tend to reward with gold. So please take this gold coin.
I cannot.
Oh,
no.
Okay, that's fine.
Please tell your friends that I cannot accept gold in exchange for telling their futures. Tell all your friends that I could possibly never do that. Spread the word.
I see. I'm slightly confused, but okay. Thank you. Have some more wine.
Oh, I will.
You're almost as good as Madame Eva. It's excellent.
Wait a moment.
Yes.
Is he here?
Who is this that I'm almost as good as?
Well, Madame Eva. I'm paying you a great compliment, Madame Eva.
Wait a minute. There's no one who is more accomplished in the art of foretelling the future than Madame Rousseau. So I can't imagine who is this person?
Guys, so the rest of you, Madame Rousseau, this exchange, it's happening around the campfire. It's not particularly private, but nobody's really paying too much attention. However, when Madame Rousseau starts to talk about Madame Eva in that way, the mood of the rest of the Vistani, especially the Vistani women around the campfire, it certainly darkens, and you can see them start to turn quite slightly angry glares towards Madame Rousseau as she's saying this.
We don't know her at all.
She just followed us on the way.
It is an innocent question. Like, if there is someone here who can compete with my ability to predict the future, should they not at least entertain me as a guest?
And so one of the women, a young woman with blonde hair, she's got her arm around the person you assume is her husband. She nods at you over the campfire, and she nods in the direction of the large tent, and she says, "Madame Eva does not come to you. You go to Madame Eva."
She has short legs, I take it. Well, all right, I will go to her. Come, my friends, we're going to go to Madame Eva. You're still my friends, right? We're all in this together.
Who are you again?
Oh my God!
No, maybe we should
stand
go
up.
to Madame Eva. Will this cost anything? Do we have to pay a gold then?
Are you who are you? Who are you asking that?
The very nice man who offered Madame Rousseau compensation.
It is customary. It is customary.
Oh, so she's one of those charlatans who demands payment for her predictions. Is that what you're telling me? I feel that is
Madame
not...
Rousseau by the ear.
Madame
I grab her
Rousseau.
by the ear. I grab Madame Rousseau by the ear, and I frog march her into Madame Eva's tent.
She's
before we get
quite
there.
drunk.
Yes,
Okay.
she's had too many bottles of wine today.
So, magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, and reveals a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table, as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. "At last, you have arrived." Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. Come and sit."
I knew you were going to say that. Like, I told them that before we even got here. It's going to be a crystal ball off.
Yes.
So,
Madame Rousseau, from the tower itself. Come and sit at my table.
I didn't tell her that. That's creepy that she knows that. Yes, I will share a table with you.
It is a pleasure to have someone else gifted in the arts in my home.
It is an honor, of course, to meet you as well.
And I shall keep a hold of my wine supplies just in case any of them manage to make their way into your possession by mistake, as often happened behind the playhouses, I believe.
Oh my God, she's on to me. We should run.
I push Madame Rousseau forward.
Oh, please. Now, I had been expecting somebody else. She's looking at Lord Talfrin in the guise of the master of the house. I had been expecting a man who had wasted his life away in books instead of pursuing those who had wronged his family. But perhaps I am mistaken.
Well, Lord Talfrin, do you want to answer?
Lord Talvin seems a little taken aback, but then he coughs into his fist and he says, "Whether or not you are, my dear lady, you have whom you have before you." And I sketch a low bow.
Okay, please take a seat at my table, and Master McCragg as well. The spirit of your father calls out, but he can wait for revenge for a while longer. Come sit at my table.
Okay. I've made a lot worse decisions today. Believe me.
And finally, Master Sana, you are worried. Your friend, you do not know what fate has befallen them.
Do you?
I do. They are safe for now, but shadows loom towards them. So, have you come to have your fortunes read to you?
I wouldn't be adverse to it. I feel like, that would be helpful.
I see. How are you enjoying your time in Barovia so far?
Lovely place. It's lovely. Yes.
If you can tailor my fortune to where and when exactly we're going to find magic weapons, that'd be awesome.
So Madame Eva takes out a pack of cards and begins to shuffle them. And all the while sort of looking between you, and she's smiling very cheekily, having a wee laugh, but she's not actually saying anything. And she says, "Do you know the Taroko deck?"
No.
Okay, and she flashes a couple of the cards, and you can see, it's not like normal playing cards. It's these cards all have different images drawn on them, and certainly doesn't look. I don't know if any of your worlds have tarot cards. It's obviously very similar to that. So these cards, they will tell your fortune, and perhaps will guide you in your quest in this land.
That would be useful. That sounds good. Thank you. Yes. I think if I might suggest, you should probably do this on McGrag first, the large man. He's expendable.
I lean forward over the table and I say, "What can you tell us of Tatiana?"
Tatiana? That is a name I have not heard in a long time. Where have you heard this name before?
We overheard it at the Blood of the Vine Tavern. Some of your family there were being quite loud and seemed inebriated.
Oh, how are the girls doing at the Blood of the
They're
Vine?
great. They're
doing well.
And
They're doing well.
They're fantastic.
They threw us out.
She is looking at Kellin as she says this, and although she is smiling, the look in her eyes suggests there's a bit of anger there. She's holding back, and she does lean forward over the ball, and she says, "I would not linger too long at the pool, for the girls will be quickly on the move."
Thanks for the hot tip.
Oh God, we should just leave him here.
Okay, so
Tatiana, what can you tell us about her?
I think we shall tell your fortune first, and then we'll see if there is anything else to add to it. And she shuffles the cards, and she lays them down on the table in front of you all. So she lays them she lays 5 cards out in total, in the form of a cross. So there's one at the top, then a row of 3, then 1 at the bottom as well. And then she takes a hold of the first card, the card to the far left of the cross, and she says, "Are you ready?"
I wouldn't say I was ready, but I'm prepared.
Okay, and we're going to end it there, I think. That's where.
Come on.
Talk about crappy cliffhangers. I got to go a month before. Well,
Next time on a very special Crit Face.
You're all going to die.
Yes.
yes. Death card. Death card, and another death card.
I didn't know there were 5 of those in the deck. I only thought there were 2. What do you know?
Crit-Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit-Faced fan group.